What would you say is the biggest black swan facing the UAE economy and the region today?
Well, at the moment, I can't really predict black swans, but I'll probably say there's a lot of gray swans around. And I think the major aspect is the fragmentation of the financial services happening. There are going to be new systems coming up. I think that's what really we're anticipating at the moment. We're looking at as well the aspects of trade, the aspects of logistics will change. We are seeing the re-engineering and redesigning talks, at least from the aspects of nearshoring, friendshoring kind of thinking, towards where the new trade is going to happen. The change of that will change a lot of logistics, will change a lot of movements of people, a lot of talents, and that's something which can actually be a grey swan. Might happen, it might not, but that's something. But we never know. The world today is moving on a very fast pace. I think there's challenges that might come up, and I think the anticipation that the UAE leadership has, in Dubai more specifically, the more appetite of agility, the more appetite to anticipate challenge and take it on, and the fast speed of how the regulations moves in Dubai, and specifically anticipating future challenges. So whatever swan we get, white to black, I think the most important is how adaptive are you? And how adaptive and changes can you actually adapt these new challenges that might happen?
I would like to just ask quite frankly as well. I think it's important to share openly and honestly your view on where the UAE economy stands right now. Coming out of COVID, the UAE has seen a real acceleration, and I described earlier the economy as being a powerhouse at the moment. But throughout the course of its history, as we all know, Dubai's economy has seen booms and busts. I'm curious to get a sense from you as to where we stand right now in the business cycle, and is this what peak boom looks like?
We had a fantastic year in 2022. Everyone expected us. Remember this conversation we had last year to grow between 4 and 5% of GDP growth. We just estimated 7.6% of GDP growth. That's a huge achievement for the UAE's economy with the challenges facing. This year we're expected to do about 3.5%. But I think with all these challenges, we want more than that. We have a KPI on doubling the economy in the next 7 years. And doing so, we need to hit 7% GDP growth every year. So as where I stand is, I want 7% every year. And with that said, I think we need to find such forums, such aspects, such platforms to really speak about how can we diversify our economy? How can we reach 7%? Now, 7% will not come from the traditional economy, it will not come from real estate, it will not come from retail, it will not come from the oil and gas aspect. 7% will come from this room. Those who are here with us here today, the 7% will be big aspects on the financial technology. You guys have a mandate to help me to reach the 7% growth for the UAE, and specifically in the Emirates of Dubai. I think that's something which is important because we are and the ability of actually to change regulation. Now, what we did is 7.6% in 2022 didn't come because we're the UAE, but it came because we managed to change 40 policies, regulations, and anticipate new policies and regulations in the last 2 years. The World Bank and the IMF predicted a 3.5% higher than 2.9% average in the Arab world. So we're doing higher than the actual prediction. And why? Because they have mentioned in the report, in the report that has been estimated, that the UAE has set policies back 2 years ago, from the 100% company ownership law, from the visa regimes that we've changed, from the regulations and the laws that we managed to change, the commercial transaction laws that came out. All of these changes managed to put today the impact that you can measure 2 years later. And we expect as well to do even more, specifically that these laws and regulations need time of 2 to 3 to 4 years to actually come into place and to kick in. And I think with that said, I think it really implies that the UAE's impact on the economy will actually do more. It's a place we've seen people moving in, we've seen people coming in, we're going to see even more people seeing the UAE is coming in as an aspect where the measure of economy, the measure of the visa regimes that we put in place, the golden visa, the green visa that came into place, really expedited and accelerated the aspect of people actually boosting the economy to 7.6. Let's do 7 next year. I think that's something which is important if we want to double the economy in the 7 years.